Alright everybody, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you the Flower Cardian cards in action because they're actually very powerful. I'm sure you know the ban list dropped. We saw that and we saw a tier got touched. No, they didn't get touched at all, at least the names. Hell, the field spell didn't even get touched. But we did see the banished cards come off the list, which is very scary because we see things like Macrocosmos and Defissure come off and it's a 3. So we're going to be seeing a lot of banishing in action, especially because it's a counter to tier. But at the same time, I still feel like this combo will help you because even though tier didn't get touched, they will still be played. Like you have to, like, they will still be played. So this is a direct counter to that. So I'm sure you know, I actually got insight on how to make this, actually knowledge of these cards from Mr. 037 Wolf. I saw it on his channel, and when I was watching his combo guides, I realized that the combos rely quite heavily on Baron to pop, right? And I was thinking to myself, I myself don't have a Baron, so how do I make this combo work without it? And I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? So today I'm going to be showcasing to you the Junk-Doppel combo guide for the Flower Cardians without utilizing Baron because it is quite expensive. But it is, for you guys that don't know, it is getting reprinted next year. So fingers crossed that it's not too expensive, that we can actually afford it. But for now, we're going to have to make do with what I'm going to show you. But still, the board we end on is pretty good against tier. Obviously, you can change what you end on depending on your matchup, because now remember, Flunderies is extra powerful. So also do recommend you guys picking up your copies of Artifact Lancia as soon as you can, because yeah, Kashtira is also coming out soon in full power. So then a lot of banishing action is going to happen, and then Artifact Launch is going to spike in price. I guarantee you that. So pick it up now while you still can, and we have to play 3 of that because Flunder, and then we have this to stop tier. Those are the 2 best decks at the moment. Alright, so let me actually just get into the combos. So this is the Junk-Doppel. So we start off with the standard play. So obviously the Synchro Overtake, we just need to get Junk on the field. Doppel, standard combo, we make your Speeder. Speeder, Chainlink 1, Doppel, Chainlink 2. Doppel gets you your 2 tokens. Speeder will get you your Synchrons. And then Starter Synchron will activate to get you the Illumination. Activate Illumination, and which will send Star's Trail to the grave. The one thing I will say though is you can choose to hold this. You don't have to activate this immediately because this is very susceptible to the Bestials. And this will just get banished immediately because it's a target your opponent sees that you're targeting and you're putting it into the grave for a reason. So they will banish this, and you really can't afford to have that. So I think, just as an extra insight, hold on to this and use it when you actually need to use it. And you'll see we'll use it only later on in the combo, not right now. So yeah, so we'll continue this. So then you make Librarian as normal, then you make the Shaman. This is pretty standard. The temptation to just make Blazer here is quite, I would really love to do that, but yeah, it is what it is. With competitive TCG, we can't do that. And then let this resolve. We got the 3 chain links happening. Jet will get you your Junk Converter. Shaman will revive your 2 level 2s. And then the Hyper Librarian will give you a draw. And then you use the 2 level 2s and the Shaman to make your first Flower Cardian. So here we go. We've already got one of the amazing cards out. And the nice thing about this that people don't really utilize is the fact that you can get an additional draw off of that in addition to your Librarian. So you have 2 drawers to work with, which is cool. Obviously this draw you have to reveal it to your opponent. And then if it's a Flower Cardian, you think you special summon it. I think that's the effect. But obviously we're not running any other Flower Cardians in the main deck, so it's not really that important. We just want that additional draw, which is always good. And then we continue off. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we get our 2 tokens. And then we get the draw of Librarian, and then Flower Cardian will give you that additional draw. And then here, obviously you know Flower Cardian Moonflower Viewing, that's a long ass name. Obviously it requires 2 to make the border flight requires 1 tuner plus 2 non-tuner monsters. So it's quite weird, but at the same time we can use anything on the field, because this card, the materials that it uses and itself can be treated as level 2 monsters, which is very cool. So we can even use Speeder if we wanted to, we could use any of the tokens if we wanted to, we could even use Librarian if we wanted to. So it's very cool. So the way I did it is you use that, you use Speeder and use one of the tokens to make the Border Fly, and then your Librarian will give you another draw. Border Fly effect, you'd banish your Flower Cardian in the grave, and then you basically lock your opponent out of the graveyard, and they can't special summon from the graveyard until the end of the next turn. So Tearlaments is completely done. Or any other graveyard based deck. I know there's a lot of Scarecrows. They do tend to run around because you've got Tearlament Scarecrow, you've got Kashtira Scarecrow, you've got all of those decks running around. So this also stops them, which is very powerful. So then obviously I'm going to let's just go back a previous step because I think it. Yeah, so after you banish, you would have this on your field. Then you use the remaining 2 cards to make your Herald. Let me just go back a step. This is moving very fast. Okay, so then obviously your Librarian would resolve to give you another draw. You start a Synchron in the grave, and we're going to tribute off the Borderfly. And then this would trigger Trail, you special summon Trail, and this is what I was saying. You could have used, before you attributed for Starter Synchron, you could have used, or even before you made Herald, then you use Status Illumination, send Trail to the graveyard, because it just plays around those Bestials, because it's really annoying when they hit your Trail. So yeah, anyway, you bring these 2 out, and then we're going to use Status Illumination to make Starter Synchron a level 5, and we're going to make Shen Shen here. So banish, make it a level 5, and then I make Shen Shen. This is just purely to counter Tear. When I was figuring out this combo, the bandits hadn't dropped at that time, so I was focusing solely on Tear. So this already royally screws them. So even if for some reason they manage to stop your Borderfly mid combo when you summon it, you can still run on a Herald of the Arclight and a Shen Shen, which just banishes everything. So it's very good. And then obviously you've drawn 1.5 million things off the Librarian. So even if you didn't use Synchro Overtake in the start to make your speeder, you still technically could have used Synchro Overtake, special summon, or I forget the name, Junk Synchron, and then make either your Omega or your Crystal Wing, and then end on those 3 on the board. But obviously my Butterfly resolved in this case. We have no opponent on the field. And then you made these 2 because I'm just solely countering Tear. Obviously now with the ban list things do change. You can choose what you want to end on, because remember a lot of banish effects are going to be happening now. We're going to be seeing a lot more Flu, and then obviously there's going to be a lot of rogue decks or any other decks to contend with meta, because not everyone's going to be playing meta, to be fair. So yeah, that's basically all I'll have to show to you guys today. Today's just the full combo for Junk-Doppel. I'll showcase to you guys Kaligo, and then I'll showcase to you guys Converter in the coming weeks. I'm sorry this is taking so long, and I'm sure everyone else has made on YouTube has made combo guides on this. I'm just showing to you guys how to use this combo when you don't have a Baron, which is quite sad, but it is very expensive. Even I can't afford it myself. So we just sort of have to make do with what we have and just try and make this combo work, and I hope this really helps you guys. And yeah, if you found it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.